I'm walking around at a spring festival in Denton, Texas, when I notice a woman motioning for me to come over to her table. I'm a little nervous to go over there, see what she's gonna sell me. But I walk over and she says, "Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm with Team in Training. We do endurance races to raise money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Have you ever thought about doing a marathon?" Actually, yes, last year I walked a half marathon. It took me 6 hours. They ran out of water at mile 7, and I promised Jesus I would never do that again. She said, "Okay, understood. What about a century ride? 100 miles on a bike, why would I do that? No." As I'm walking away, she says, "Wait, I have the perfect event for you, a triathlon. You get to do something different every 40 minutes. She lost her mind, right? So she begins to tell me, it's a 3/4 mile swim, the bike ride is only 18 miles, and you could walk a 5K. Okay. I was about to say no, but I thought back to a conversation I just had with my doctor a week ago. She had told me that because I was working as a chemist in radioactive material, my metabolism had started to slow down, and I needed to do something to jumpstart it, like work out. But she suggested doing an endurance race because you have to train for it, which would force me to work out, which would then jumpstart my metabolism. But there was a slight problem. Sure, I could walk the 5K, but I didn't own a bike, and I didn't know how to swim. But I thought for a second, you know what? It would be really bad on them if I drowned in the ocean. They wouldn't be able to raise money, so somebody will teach me how to swim. I turned back to Sarah and I said, "Yeah, I'll do it, sign me up." I surprised myself. A couple of days later, I get an email saying, "Welcome to Team in Training," and I'm a little excited about this. I open it up and I start to read the schedule, and then fear sets in. The schedule is daunting. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're running in Dallas. Tuesday, Thursday, we're at Texas Motor Speedway biking. Saturday mornings in Dallas, we swim, and every weekday morning at 5 a.m., we're practicing swimming in Denton, Texas. Oh, and I have to raise $2,500 for the privilege of doing all this. Tuesday, after work, I have to go out and find something to wear. And I decide I'm gonna get a bright yellow bathing suit because if I drown, somebody will be able to find me. And I go to the pawn shop and I buy this really pretty green bike. I show up Tuesday after work at Texas Motor Speedway, and I'm moving really slow. I can see all of my teammates just lapping me. Coach Dave saddles up to me and he goes, "Renee, you can't do a triathlon on that heavy mountain bike. You need to get a really light road bike like the guys over there. You're also gonna wanna get some padded shorts to protect your bottom, and you're gonna wanna get clipless pedals and clip-in shoes. They make you one with the bike and give you power to your pedal." I don't know what any of this means. I go to the store and I ask the bike shop guy about it. He sells me about $1,000 worth of stuff, and I'm ready to go. I show up Thursday with my padded shorts and my pedals, and I clip in, and he's right. I was one with the bike. Me and the bike fell right over. That happened for about 5 times. Finally, I got the hang of it, and I was keeping up with my teammates. Saturday rolls around, and we're all on deck at the pool. I'm standing there with everyone else, and Coach Dave is there again, and he says, "Who here doesn't know how to swim?" I look around, and I said, "My hand is the only hand that goes up." He gives me a wink and says, "Don't worry, I got you." I said, "Okay." Week 1, we practice nothing but floating. Week 2, we practice flutter kicking. Week 3, we're practicing moving our head from side to side, adding that in with the flutter kicking and the floating. Week 4, we add in the arm with the head moving back and forth. Week 5, I finally swam across the pool one time. And week 6, I swam there and back. Coach Dave said, "Renee, you're doing awesome. Next week, we're gonna be in open water." What? Already? We go out to this really disgusting lake, Joe Pool Lake. It's dark. Like, when you close your eyes, it's not that dark. We get in the water, and he says, "You see that canoe way out there? You're gonna swim out there and come back." Okay. I swam out, I came back. He said, "You're gonna be great." 2.5 months, this was my routine and my life. Walking, biking, and swimming almost every day. Finally, the day comes for the big race. I'm standing on the shore, listening to my iPod playing Bone Crusher's Never Scared. Don't judge me. I played it upstairs too. And Coach Dave, I'm clearly singing this loud because Coach Dave comes over and says, Renee, you don't need to be scared. You know how to swim. The only thing you should be is wet when you get out of the water. You shouldn't be tired, you shouldn't be out of breath. And no one is going to leave until the last person finishes. He never should have told me that. The bell dings, everyone jumps in, they're furiously swimming, and I stood back and waited. And then I got in the water. And I started to swim, and I remember I could hear Coach Dave's words in my head. The only thing I should be when I get out of the water is wet. In fact, I swam so slow that I could see and read the time on my watch as my hand came out of the water and went back in. I saw the first canoe that was telling me to go right, the second, the third, and I was back at shore. I put on my pants to protect my bottom and my shoes and got on my bike and I started pedaling. I'm one with the bike and I'm having a good time because I see other people. And I'm keeping up with them until we make this right turn and there's Iron Mountain. It looks like it's going straight up into the heavens. I'm tired, I'm sweaty, I'm still wet from the swim. I'm questioning a lot of decisions I made right now. I'm about 2/3 of the way up. And I think to myself, I gotta get off this bike. I don't think I'm gonna make it the last third of the way. But the problem is, I'm one with the bike. I can't clip out because I'll then go toppling down the hill, and there's no way I survive this swim to die on this bike. I get to the top of the hill, and I look over, and it's nothing but downhill. I coast downhill, clip out of my pedals, take off my shoes, put on my running shoes, and I begin to walk. I'm keeping up a really good pace, but there's no one around me. And I start thinking to myself, I must be first. And I think, no, you're not. And so I keep walking, and suddenly I see this beautiful sight. It's the sight of purple and white arched balloons. And I can hear people cheering as I get closer and closer. But they're also cheering like in a 360 kind of way, like they're behind me and they're in front of me. And I get across the finish line and I look behind me and it's the police and the cleanup crew and the people that were in the canoes. I am dead last. This woman walks up to me as I cross the finish line, and she comes over with a medal, and I think it's one of the finishers' medals. She says, Renee, you came in 3rd place in the Athena division. That's women 150 pounds and over. I said, did everyone drop out or die? How am I 3rd? That's impossible. I'm last. And she said, no. She said, a lot of people got disqualified. They didn't make it through the swim, but you did. In 4 months, I had learned how to swim and do this triathlon. Since then, I continue to swim, I bike to work, and I've even done several triathlons since then. And not once have I promised Jesus that I wouldn't do another triathlon.